few months ago, I randomly thought about the 5-Minute Crafts YouTube channel, and out of curiosity, I checked out some of their videos to see whether they were still posting stupid life hacks in 2025. And to be honest, some of the hacks were actually pretty ingenious. And so today I wanted to check out some recent 5-Minute Craft TikToks to see whether any of their brand new life hacks have the chance to make my life better, or whether they are just full of brain damage. Why did you bother to revive the ice cream as if you picked up its reboot card? You could have easily just bought a new one, and how are you gonna do this in 5 minutes? I thought your name is 5-Minute Crafts, because how much does ice cream even cost these days? It's not like ice cream is extremely expensive. You can literally buy an entire tub of ice cream for $5, everyday low price. Meanwhile, this person, after dropping their ice cream on the ground, they go and buy a dustpan, a strainer, a hairdryer, and an extra bowl down here, also a pot, a cooking pot, and also a spoon over here, and one of these Pyrex glasses, just to put the ice cream back together as if it's Frankenstein. So the dustpan costs $6, which is already more expensive than just buying a tub of ice cream to begin with. The strainer costs $6 as well. The hairdryer costs $18. We'll take this one over here. The bowl costs 90 cents. The Pyrex glass costs $11. The pot costs $10. And the spoon costs $4.50. And so if you add all of this up, it's around $50 just to revive this stupid ice cream. But also, if you're eating ice cream in the park out in public and you end up dropping it on the ground, who naturally has like this dustpan with them? Who would be carrying this around in their backpack or in their pocket? Also, why are they washing the ice cream cone underwater? That just makes it all soggy and it makes it all break apart. There's no way you can revive it after washing it underwater. And the person even tries to dry it up with the same hairdryer. Like, there's no way that actually works. And they even go to the effort of gluing the ice cream cone back together using melted chocolate. How unemployed would you have to have this much time to just start gluing your ice cream cones back together? No offense, of course. No offense to the unemployed people. It's just a prank. The prank. I mean, this wouldn't be like a bad prank, honestly. It's a pretty harmless prank. Unless a dog pooed on the ground where you originally dropped the ice cream and then you end up accidentally killing your friend. Why would you ever need to carry your eggs in your shoes like this? What is the point of this? There's literally no point. But to be fair, the only use case I can think of this is if you're going to the store to buy eggs and you don't want to carry them home in your shopping cart. And so instead of putting it into a bag, you just store it in your shoes and you walk home with them. But also, wouldn't they get crushed under the pressure of the shoes? Like, I'm pretty sure there's a reason why they're not using real eggs here and showing it. Also, if it's a hot day and you're walking home with these egg shoes, wouldn't the heat from the ground make the eggs like go off and like get spoiled? But maybe I'm missing something. Maybe these shoes secretly add like an extra layer of comfort. Maybe they're actually like pretty comfortable. But the entire method of how this person makes it is just so like, it just does not make any sense. Because first of all, you have to travel all the way to a beach to put these eggs into the sand so that you can pour the silicone on top of it. And after you create the foam to create the cage sort of contraption, you even have to screw in hinges into the side of the shoe. What shoes on the market currently have metal hinges in them? But anyways, they also add a lock to the shoes for some reason, as if anyone's gonna steal your eggs. But then they also make the shoe portion of it from scratch. They step on this random putty, and I guess that makes a mold for their feet so it can easily fit in. And so maybe it's secretly pretty comfortable. Maybe these actually aren't bad. But then why would you decorate the front of the shoes with like baby chicks? Because the chicks are what the eggs will never become, because you're gonna eat them and kill them. The vegans will not be happy about this. It's almost as if you're mocking the vegans. Like, you're literally directly mocking the vegans by wearing shoes that contain 12 eggs, 12 unborn chickens that will never get to live and experience life. And so I guess maybe you wear these shoes if you want to attend an anti-vegan protest or something. But by the way, I don't have anything against veganism. Like, I fully understand where the vegans come from. I showed this to my husband and he asked if he had done something wrong and whether watching this was a punishment. Jesus, what type of relationship do you guys have? the point of this video? Like, there are so many things wrong with this video. Because first of all, why did they specifically hire a Gaiat to film this video? Like, they could have used anyone. They could have used someone who actually is wearing like proper camping and outdoor equipment, but instead they get this random Gaiat from the streets wearing some yoga gear in the middle of the wilderness. And so I think this is meant to be a compilation of like different survival hacks out in the wilderness. But what is with this first one? Like, why are we focusing on the Gaiat and why are we pouring glue directly onto it? Like, this 100% looks like something else. Like, if you didn't see the glue bottle up here, you would 100% assume this is something else. But anyways, it looks like the hack here is that if you wipe super glue onto your Gaiat and you stick a bunch of maple leaves onto it, you can eventually turn yourself into a full body ghillie suit for some reason. Like, why would you need this though? It says wild survival tips from charming outdoor women. But how is this gonna help you survive? Like, you have a ghillie suit, yeah, now what? But I guess it will help you to hunt easier. Like, I guess you'll be able to hunt for food so the animals won't be able to see you as you just like pull up on them. But can't you just buy a ghillie suit? Like, I'm pretty sure buying super glue is more expensive than buying a ghillie suit. Okay, so we have 118 mils of Gorilla Glue, and that is most likely not going to be enough. So let's just assume we buy 3 of these. So that will bring us to almost $40. Meanwhile, you can literally buy a proper sniper ghillie suit for $336, which is like half the price of what the super glue would cost. But anyways, the second clip is even more confusing because once again, why is she in a full out like yoga suit? But actually, now that I think about it, like that would maybe make sense because like, you know, the outdoors is like nice and peaceful. Maybe it's a good location to do yoga. But anyway, she grabs a random garbage bag and she has a, what is this? A Stanley knife in her belt for some reason. And after cutting a hole down the middle, she manages to fit it around her head and over her body to create this abomination. Like, what is this? Like, what are you meant to use this for? Maybe it's like a one-man tent and you're just meant to sleep sitting like up, like popping a squat, sleeping like this. Or maybe it's meant to be like a raincoat, but then where are the holes for the arms? It's like a raincoat, but you're like disabled. But anyways, the third clip seems like pretty normal, but like there was one thing that I noticed that was a little bit off. So she gets a plastic bag of water and she pokes a hole through it to let it go through. And I thought she was doing this in order to filter the lake water because she got this water straight from the lake. And I assumed there'd be a bunch of dirt and algae and maybe like fish, small bugs and everything in it. And so you would 100% need to filter that before using it for like drinking or like anything. Because I'm pretty sure you would usually use something like this. It's called a gravity water like filter bag. So basically gravity gets the water through the filter and then it makes it clean for like drinking and stuff. But no, instead of filtering the water, she just pokes a hole through it and just uses it straight away to clean her dishes. So now her dishes are going to be infected with a whole bunch of algae, bacteria, and worms and everything. And so the next time she uses these plates to eat and uses the cup to drink, she's most likely going to wake up the next morning with explosive diarrhea. Flash us, pray emoji. Wait, what is wrong with you? Kids these days see a Gaia and like this is what they comment. Our Father who art in heaven. Okay, I ain't reading all that. What are you meant to do with it afterwards? Because it's titled Pineapple versus Fire, What Wins? And so I think the only reason, like the specific and sole reason why this shield was created was to test it against a flamethrower. Like specifically a flamethrower and nothing else. Not even a gun, a sword, anything else. Because this man has gone to this entire effort to construct this thing from scratch. He goes and removes the inside of a pineapple by... Wait, what is this? He has a moving car wheel and it looks like he has a baked beans tin attached to the wheel. I'm pretty sure there are tools invented to get rid of the core of a pineapple. Yeah, you can buy one of these for $26. But I guess doing it this way is kind of free, although you do use petrol to do the car thingy. Also, you would need a jackhammer. You see this? You need a jackhammer to lift the actual wheel off the ground so that it doesn't like skid against the road. Okay, that little thing is not called a jackhammer. What is it? Wait, what? I think it's called a car jack, and they cost $259. So instead of buying the Amazon tool for $26 that will perfectly remove the core of the pineapple, we're just gonna go ahead and buy a car jack for $249 to remove it. Okay. Nice. So next he loads up the pineapples and he sort of heat treats it in order to prepare it for cutting. But the thing is, we've already answered the question here. The title is Pineapple versus Fire, What Wins? The fire did not get through the pineapple at all here. And so why did we have to go all the way and make the shield to try and figure this out? But I guess to be fair, maybe it's only meant to like harden it and heat treat it. Maybe this wasn't the full power of the fire. But anyways, he unravels the pineapple and it sort of looks like leather at this point. And he cuts some bits out of it, sort of like dragon scales. And instead of using like any circular backboard, he could have used like a trash can board. Like, you know how they do trash can shield, or he could have used like a chopping board or something else. But no, he uses a dartboard. Like, why would you use the dartboard? And it looks like it's an active dartboard. So now he won't even be able to use his dartboard, and none of his friends will be able to use the dartboard because instead he's used it to make this stupid pineapple shield. But then next he grabs this, like, what is this? He grabs, is this a fan? He grabs fan blades and he cuts off all the blades in order to stick them onto the side of the shield. But how much do fan blades cost? I'm pretty sure a fan blade would cost much more than like scrap metal that you could have got from the tip or something. Actually, they're not too bad. They're like $12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's not too bad. But then the thing that confuses me is that instead of adding like a simple grip to the back of the shield, like for example this, you only need one strap here and one strap here to like grip onto the shield. This guy decides to mold his entire arm and perfectly create some sort of mold around it just so that he can hold his shield perfectly in place. But the thing is, I would understand why you would do this if it was like an extremely expensive shield, like a Captain America replica shield, and it was made out of like titanium, vibranium, uranium. But no, he's done this for a simple pineapple shield. What was the point of that? Creativity, heart eye emoji, yeah. But instead of creativity and inspiration, the only thing we received from this video was brain damage. What in the homeless man did I just witness? Because at first he was like cleaning up some stuff with the garbage cans, and so I thought this entire hack was going to be about like how to clean up garbage faster and everything. But no, it turns out that this guy is actually a garbage man and is trying to build himself a new home without having to spend $1 million on a house. Because he starts off by stealing the garbage bin that he doesn't even own. It probably belongs to the state or the council, but he just takes it home for himself. He cuts out the back of it, which I'm pretty sure counts as destruction of public property, and he completely mutilates it. Like, he removes all character from the bin. You can't even recognize it at this point, and he forces it to 69 with another bin without consent. But the thing is, we get a look at the bin over here, but this looks nothing like the version he did before, because this is the original position that the guy made the bin 69 in. You can clearly see that it's at a bit of a right angle, but now it's at a diagonal angle all of a sudden. But anyways, he continues the build by adding a front door to it, and then he spray paints the entire bin into metallic silver, which I guess maybe would be helpful for like reflecting sunlight so it doesn't heat up too much. Because if you think about it, it would get super stuffy in here. Like, there's no like ventilation or anything. But he makes up ending a window using a random bicycle tire, and he lines the inside with foam and plastic. And so at this point, the build is pretty much done, but he even shows us that it's pretty portable as well. Like, if you're homeless and you somehow also have a bicycle with you, you can carry your home around by just like riding it around. And then he shows the final product, how you can use it. So I assume this is meant to be like a single sleep pod for like homeless people. But the main concern is that it would be extremely hot in there. Like, there is no way, like absolutely no way you're gonna survive more than 10 minutes in there. And if you get stuck in there, you're absolutely screwed, because the only way to open it is at the front with this door at the front. And so what if someone comes along and he hates homeless people, and so he pushes the bin onto its side, and then he pushes it onto its face so that this entire thing is like facing the ground? You wouldn't be able to get out. Like, there would be no way to push it open. I think this takes longer than 5 minutes. Potentially, maybe. Those are disgusting, and I'm not even vegan. Who would wear fish skin on their shoes? Like, I understand if you wear like leather on your shoes, or if you wear like something like cow skin maybe, but fish, like, why fish? Fish are friends, not food. I mean, fish are friends, not shoes. But also, why is the fish green to begin with? Like, is this some way to get around like demonetization or something? But anyways, it seems like the method is to just skin a fish and just dry out the skin and then put it into a oven. Like, is this an air fryer? What is it? Silver Crest? Wait, I have to find out what this is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a type of air fryer because this company sells air fryers. potatoes. So we're gonna dry the fish skin by putting it into an air fryer. Then we're gonna put starch on top of it for some reason. Wait, what does the starch even do? Okay, apparently it just makes it easier to peel the skin off the fish. But then we move on to part 2, which is like preparing the shoes in order to renovate it. And so they create some sort of stencil by putting masking tape and cutting it out. Like that's the usual thing to do. But the thing that is not usual to do is to stick it onto the fish skin and super glue it onto the shoe. I'm not vegan. Like, just to clarify, I'm not vegan and I eat fish all the time. But this is a little bit too far. Like, I feel like this is extremely disrespectful towards the dead fish. Like, imagine being born as a fish and living your life and then dying and then being stuck onto a pair of shoes like a trophy. Like, every time this guy walks around wearing these shoes, it's almost as if they're parading the death of this fish, as if they're proud to have killed the specific fish. But anyways, it doesn't stop there. They literally cut off the midsole of the shoe so that like, there's nothing left in there, and they peel it off and they replace it with some sort of like marine life, like aquarium type beat, and then they just stand on top of it, I guess. And so what is the point of this? And like, what if your foot like goes through the bottom of like that top bit and goes into the water? But I guess these shoes would be good if you're like short or something, because I think they add like 5 inches, like 6 inches. What is that? That looks like fish. Okay, you're gonna want to sit down when I tell you this, but wait, so we're doing all of this just to make a makeup brush? Do you not understand how cheap makeup brushes are? $15 on sale. It's almost half price. It used to be $27, now it's $15. But meanwhile, this woman would much rather vacuum her... Wait, she's vacuuming her dog? Are you meant to vacuum dogs? Also, this is a Shiba Inu, and this is a very expensive dog. And so first of all, you have to buy one of these Shiba Inu dogs, and that will cost between $5,000 and $6,500. Okay, what the hell is this? So after somehow saving enough money to buy a Shiba Inu, we gotta vacuum it and collect all of its hair. And does this person really think they're gonna fool us with this? Like, there is no way this is the Shiba Inu's hair. But anyways, they run it through this machine in order to get rid of the knots and straighten the hair out. But it looks like it has achieved none of that, because look at this. This looks even more knotted than before. But I guess the next step is to bleach the hair and turn it into white so that you can make it towards the makeup brush. And they claim to have used soap. Like, they're using like plain dishwasher soap. And apparently this is enough to bleach it to turn it white. Okay, so once again, there is absolutely no way that works. And so after drying the hair, it suddenly turns into long, luscious hair straight out of the local arts and crafts store. And they tie it up into a little thing in order to prepare it for the brush. But look at this transition. Okay, look at this hair and look at this color and look at the what do you call it? The thickness. And look at this. It's apparently the same thing. Look how much thicker this is, and look how much lighter the old hair used to be. And so I don't know whether the hair went through like a reverse Michael Jackson, but I'm not gonna question it. But this person takes the extra step forward, and instead of buying a handle or using like a plastic handle, they go and buy an entire wood turning station, and they wood turn this from scratch in order to make the handle. And after gluing the head on, they shave it a little bit to like tidy it up, and it's ready for use. What a great use of time. Good idea. Light bulb emoji. Okay, no offense, but does this person have brain damage?